Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Jeff Culbert from Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center. You know what I want to do today? You've made the decision to go see a chiropractor, and hopefully you're coming to see us in our office. And what I want to do is walk through the steps that you're going to be going through in your first chiropractic visit, at least how it would go in our office anyway. So you made the decision to call a chiropractor. You're going to pick up the phone and you're going to call the office, and you're going to be greeted extremely warmly. Typically, we're going to have Hazel answer the phone. She's going to say, "Hi, welcome to Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center. Hazel speaking. How may I help you?" Okay, and you're going to say, "I'd love to schedule an appointment with the doctor." And she's going to say, "Have you ever seen the doctor before?" And from there, we're going to start, when you say never, we're going to start the whole process and conversation of getting you acquainted and adapted to the office and some of our office policies and procedures, and go from there. So you're calling to set up your first appointment. Hazel's going to guide you into a perfect appointment slot. We have a couple of different appointments that we have available for new patients, generally at about 11 o'clock in the morning, because that's a little bit of a slower time for us in our office. And again, it's 6:30 or so at night, because again, as we're winding down, the practice afternoon is generally typically crazy, chaotic, and busy with patients coming in to get their adjustment. So we'll put a new patient at the end of the night. So whether you're coming first thing in the morning or more at the end of the evening, we have a couple of times every day that we set aside for new patients. At that stage of the game, you're going to give Hazel some basic information. You're going to give her your name, your address, your phone number, especially if you're on a cell phone and we get disconnected, so she has a way of giving you a call back. We're going to try to ascertain whether this is just an injury that occurred, whether that's from, a chronic repetitive thing or acute trauma, or was this a workers' comp or an auto case or some other type of personal injury. She's going to gather your information, okay, so that we can call and verify on your insurance. And part of the conversation is later on will be between you and I in the back office. I participate as an out-of-network provider for most insurance companies, and if there's out-of-network as well as in-network benefits, it's part of my job and responsibility to let you know what your coverage is. And if there's out-of-network coverage, explain what that is. If there's in-network coverage, explain what that is. And if there's a way that I can help decide whether it's better to see an in-network doc or better to see me as an out-of-network doc, and believe it or not, that is sometimes absolutely possible, we have that conversation. And then at that stage of the game, we'll ask you, what would you like to do? Would you like to stay with us, or should I refer you to somebody else? It's just our way of being like Progressive Insurance. Sometimes we are the cheapest and the easiest way to come in and get entered into chiropractic world, and sometimes we're not. And in that case, if you're still interested in chiropractic, I will refer you to the next best chiropractor I know, because I happen to think we're the best in the area. Now, getting back to what Hazel is doing, she's going to set up the appointment time for you. She's going to take down some basic information. She's going to guide you to our website so that you can download some paperwork at home. And to the degree that you can fill out that paperwork at home, it's going to save you some time when you come into the office. Once you get into the office, there's going to be, of course, some additional paperwork depending on whether you're coming in with a neck problem, lower back problem, general pain type of questionnaire that is going to need to be filled out. It helps us to identify to what degree you have or the severity of your condition, and we also get to know what's the chronicity of your condition, because obviously if you have a newer and acute condition, it's going to respond typically faster than a very chronic condition. And if you have a more mild condition, it will respond faster than if you have a more serious or severe condition. So it gives us some little information. We're also going to have you fill out some information in terms of all of that HIPAA stuff that we're required to do now by federal government law. So again, it's not always fun to fill out the paperwork, but it is necessary and it is required. If you're a Medicare patient, you'll also sign an ABN, because there are certain things that Medicare will cover with us being in network, and there's certain things that they just don't cover. Okay, they don't cover your exam, they don't cover your x-rays, they don't cover any modalities that we have to do in terms of therapies in the office, and they don't even cover extremity adjusting, but they do cover you getting your spine adjusted. So we'll go over all of that stuff with you, and then we'll bring you back into the back office. And then in the back office, we have a history and consultation. I get to know what's caused your condition, how long it's been there, how it's impacting your life, and what are the things you'd love to be able to do when this problem goes away. I'm also going to ask you what type of care you're looking for in our office. And you may think that's crazy, okay? But it's really important to be able to know what your expectations are, so that I'm being able to deliver the chiropractic goods, so to speak, so you get the results that you want and in a reasonable period of time. So when I say what type of care are you looking for, let me explain that a moment. First, there is what is known as relief care. And inevitably, everybody who comes through my doors and is a patient patient here in the office always starts with relief care. And what is relief care? It's your body is inflamed or like a house on fire at this stage of the game. And my job is to be the fire department and try to put that out as quickly and as efficiently as we possibly can. To be able to do that, my goal for you and for being here in the office is to reduce your pain and the symptomatology by at least 50%, if not 100%, typically within the first month, 2 or 3. Most people respond for relief care within that period of time very successfully, and then upon reevaluation, again, we can either discharge the patient at relief care or we can go on to what is known as corrective care. Now, corrective care is to make sure that that spinal subluxation or that spinal problem is not only relieved, but it is corrected so it is not likely to return again, at least for the next 5 to 7 years. Statistics bear out that those patients who get relief care and relief care only and are discharged at that point in time, if we can go through a discharge instructions with you, we will give you home care stretches and exercises that you can do and remind you of postures and positions that you should be in so that, again, you can try to hold that last adjustment and stay asymptomatic for as long as you possibly can. But knowing that within generally 3 to 6 to at least a year or 2, most people are going to be repeating that problem and giving us a call back to come back in to get more relief work done. To avoid that, we go into corrective care. That goes over still getting adjusted. It goes over dietary changes and issues that need to be addressed so that you're getting the building blocks in so that your body can build itself up with strength and stability for the ligaments as well as the muscles that are going to need to hold you there in that proper alignment with that proper adjustment and the correction being held and maintained long enough so that the likelihood of it coming back becomes further and further remote. Not only are we going to talk about exercises, we're going to talk about nutrition. Okay, we're going to talk about posture. We're going to talk about sleep because your sleep is your greatest ability for your bodies to adapt and to accommodate and to heal naturally on its own. Without the rest of sleep, your body is just challenged to heal and stay healed as well as it possibly can. And then we're going to talk about stress reduction because if you can't reduce stress, you are going to not be able to digest and absorb nutrients. You're not going to be able to have all of the hormones and chemicals and the growth hormone that is needed to assist your body in terms of healing and repair. Now, once we've gotten your spine corrected, then we can talk about long-term wellness. In the old days, they used to call that maintenance care. It's really not maintaining because the goal is wellness, and it's to be able to keep your body subluxation-free, stress-free, abundantly refreshed and rested, and having the right exercises and stretch routine on a regular basis so that you are holding the correction, but going beyond that, your body is actually thriving and moving into a state of wellness, just not surviving. So again, when I ask you what type of care you're interested in, often Hazel may ask you that as you're coming in or while she's on the phone with you. Please consider what type of care you're looking for. It's important because my expectation for everybody is I want them under wellness care. Some people are only interested in relief care. That creates a disconnect for us. And when we're disconnected, we get very, very poor results. But if I know in advance you're looking for relief care, I will honor that request. I will do my best to get that done in that 4 to 12 week period of time and reduce your symptoms by 50 to 100% and release you with some discharge instructions. If you're looking for correction, we do the same thing. If you're looking for long-term wellness, we can certainly provide that for you as well. Once we're done with the consultation, we've identified some of those things, then it's time to get into the exam. And we do a complete physical, orthopedic, neurologic, and chiropractic exam physically. We can take x-rays here in the office. We're set up with digital x-rays that we can do that. We get the results of the x-rays back literally in minutes. We also have a thermograph and a surface EMG. The thermograph allows me to see areas of the spine that are more inflamed, one side or the other or both sides, to let me know where the irritation that is going on and creating the inflammation to help create the symptoms that you have. And we also have a surface EMG, which goes and again measures the electrical tension within the muscle. So that it's like a tug of war. Muscles on the right side pulling stronger. I know more what's going on that side and how the left side is being compromised by the surface EMG. We also get to see whether the inflammation or the muscle tension is too weak, normal, mildly tight, mildly inflamed, moderately tight, moderately inflamed, severely tight, severely inflamed, or extreme. And it's different color codes that do that. So it gives us, again, a great deal of information. And if we want to go even beyond that, we have the ability to do the Zytoscan in the office. So that, again, we can see what's going on emotionally, what's going on biochemically, what systems are in or out of sync, and where the energy is not pulling right within your system. So it just gives us a deeper layer. Once we've got all of that accomplished, we can adjust you that day if that's what you choose to do. Because a lot of times people are coming into any doctor's office. What can you do do for me today, doc? Because it's gotten to the point of crisis that I've called you to come in immediately. So again, 9 times out of 10, if I have the chance to take a look at the x-rays, take a look at the thermal graph and the surface EMG, and I know what I found on the exam, I can give you a very light adjustment with some gentle therapy to kind of get the wheels set in motion. So you can, just like when you go to the medical doctor, they're going to give you a sample of some kind of medication, they're going to give you a script, they're going to give you some kind of lab tests that you got to get done, but they give you some kind of something in the form of a script to get you started on the road to getting asymptomatic and hopefully well. Same thing's going to start in our office. When we end the adjustment, I will always tell you and go over, you know what, you better be aware of the Goldilocks theory of care. And what that says, if I'm too mild or too gentle with what I want to do, you may not feel that anything is getting started right away, but it is. If I'm too aggressive, okay, I may be too much or I may be too heavy with my adjustment. In that case, it's going to be like going to the gym and you're going to get a little achy after that. And if but everything should line up right with the moon and the stars in the sky, then what's going to end up happening, I will try to find the right combination of technique, okay, because we do 6 different techniques in the office, to give you an adjustment and get some therapy going that hopefully within the next 24 to 48 hours, you start to notice some kind of hopefully significant change. Where things were severe, they're at least a little bit moderate or mild, okay, and you just know that something positive is happening. So that's what I talk about in terms of the Goldilocks theory of care. Also give you some instructions in terms of icing and heating, that type of stuff. Go over some postures and positions you might want to try to be in so that you can sleep a little bit more comfortably, lie down a little bit more comfortably, go to sleep a little bit more comfortably, and therefore wake up a little bit more comfortably the next day. The other thing that I'll often do, especially if it's your first time getting adjusted by us in the office, or if it's been a long time since you've been, I will give you my card, my business card. The bottom of my business card has my personal cell phone number on it. And I'm always asking people, especially if I'm not going to follow up with you in 24 hours, to please shoot me a text that lets me know how you're doing. Hey, Dr. Jeff, this is Brad. I was just in last night, got my first adjustment, and this morning I'm feeling blank. And I tell everybody, fill in the blank however you need to. I feel like a truck hit me. That's great, fine. Thank you for giving me that information. I more than likely started off too hard or too aggressive, okay, and did too many things. I'm feeling fantastic, Dr. Jeff. Well, the techniques I chose and how I chose to deliver them and with what I did with the exam and the therapies was the right place to start. It wasn't too hard, it wasn't too soft, and you're getting good results. That's fine. That's what we all hope for, right? That's what any doctor hopes for. And if you call back and you text me a message that says, I did not feel any different before the adjustment versus after the adjustment, then okay, I was too gentle, okay, and I didn't maybe do enough. But all it is a feedback mechanism for me from you to let me know we started okay, or I've got to modify what I'm doing immediately the next time you come in for what's known as your report of findings. And during the report of findings visit, we're going to answer the 4 basic questions. What do you have? How long is it going to take to try to get you better, whether that's relief, correction, or long-term wellness? Okay, how much is it going to cost? And then we're going to go over some of the things that you can do to help me help you get better. You know, it's the Jerry Maguire thing. Help me help you. Okay, from there we'll go over some emergency procedures. We'll get you adjusted, some therapy again, and then we'll release you back to the front desk, at which point in time they will set up your adjusting schedule, hopefully for the next 2 to 4 weeks, get you to the point of your first reeval, and then we'll see what kind of progress we're making. The other thing that you can expect in your first visit or two is to get some YouTube videos from us. We have basic welcome to the office, get oriented to the office. This is what's going on with the back and the back school type of stuff, immune system stuff, stress reduction, whatever seems to be the big thing. We're starting to create a video library that we can start to shoot out to our patients when they need it. So instead of coming in for special lectures or special presentations here at the office, we've taken the time to create those to get those to you. So that's what you can expect in your first visit or two here at our office, and hopefully any good chiropractic office will do roughly the same thing. If you're interested in visiting our website, that's smcc4u.com, and see what we can do to get you in for at least a history and a consultation to see if chiropractic is, you fall into the category that chiropractic can help. And if you hit like and subscribe and share with other people, love more people to know about our office, chiropractic, and is chiropractic the right fit for you. So this is Dr. Jeff Culbert signing off from Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic today, wishing everybody have a great day, and we'll see you in another video real soon.